What's up, baby? So I wanted to share some of my human experience. So from my understanding, what human is a person that's depowered, that doesn't do visualizations, doesn't do dreamscape, doesn't do clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, doesn't move objects with the mind, doesn't do tellerizations essentially, well, at least not aware of it. Doesn't do like psychic grids or any of these normal things that you have as a beautiful sovereign being. So my human experience has been a multitude of beautiful different things. Obviously, I definitely went through quite a bit of hierarchies as far as too many people controlling me. Too many chips too. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on with everybody want to get in my head and altering certain forms of my perceptions or putting so much fear into me. And there's parts of myself where I still want to ground underneath that of love and the love for people and the communities and stuff like that. But it's honestly been a challenge for me, not just because of the separation of the mind, which again you're going to want to be able to focus your eyes, do that, do any forms of plant medicine, which I do honestly want to say. I'm not very religious, but uh, I think even the forms of Christianity, I think it's a natural practice in order for you to be able to do psilocybin, in order for you to learn the actual teachings of Christ. However, obviously, America is kind of like is done something nasty with it. It's kind of it's kind of put like a stigma towards that, but I think it's more or less for the depowered citizens in order to keep them dispowered or the tellerizations and however, my human experience, baby, it's been a challenge. Mine's been a challenge, and I think this last experience, as far as being sent to a town to be rewired and stuff like that, for a loving blacks too much. I would have to say Latino too, or really honestly like Indian. Polski. I mean, I love anyone that was kind of like either foreign or darker skin or like I love it. Daniel, his Polski, and I was like, dude, talk to me. Like I want you to speak to me in Polish. Like I love it. Or it's anybody, whether it be Haitian, whether it be Nigerian, whether it be Mexicano, Puerto Rican. Like I always like love these things or Pakistani. Uh, and I loved really being able to, like I was blessed being able to see, Muslim weddings, Hindi weddings, and see the consciousness of beautiful people. Um, and as far as my experience goes, is it's kind of challenging because so many other people come from other countries that come in this country, and they're able to get into my mind easy, and they're able to distort image. They're able to control and manipulate that of my vessel. And it's challenged, to sit there and say, I'm an American, I'm a proud American, and the reasons why I'm proud is because we do have such a diverse mixed culture of people, and you are blessed with being able to see different forms of culture. But yet, obviously, it gets a little bit, if I'm sitting, and I'm sitting, and then I got somebody analyzing me or something like that, and I'm too attracted to a black man, I'm too attracted to a Latino, or I'm too attracted to somebody that of color. And if I dance a certain way, if I talk a certain way, if and then all of a sudden, now I'm worried about my society and, the ways that I'm walking into the world that I'm in because, you know, obviously there is a form of culture and there's a form of, music that I kind of do like, that I do vibrate to, and that there's a certain type of, essence, a certain type of, for my reality, a man, that I'm attracted to. And now if I have to worry about, like if I'm looking at, because I'll actually have glitches now, like really bad. And it's like, so if I get too aroused or if I get too turned on by like a black man or an Indian or by a Latino or something like that, I'm like, I'm going to be sent off to be rewired again. And I get nervous. I get so nervous because there was a part of myself, because I used to defend myself, I used to fight back, and I would actually physically fight, and defend my own self. uh However, because so many people's held my mind, so many people channel into my vessel, split myself, and like and then I've tried to come back into my power, and I've tried to, but I got so many projecting onto me, so many holding my consciousness, so many trying to will my being. Now I got this actual psychosis that's been developed, which I know it's not all just projecting. I do know that it's a form within that of my mind, although again, depending on the group that's around you, but it is almost like a psychosis too. um and I'm trying to still be like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm like, these motherfuckers in that eyeball, Poppy, son of a bitch. Um, and but it's very, for all these other people that are able to have reels in their mind, for all these other people that are able to photograph memory, for all these people that are able to channel, for all these people that have this divine source of intelligence, and being able to project and being able to generate energy, and where I'm falling underneath the forms of enslavement, like, oh, it's not real. And I'm like, but if you look honestly through the internet, if you look through anything, everything's out there. Whether it's going to be witchcraft, whether it's going to be religion, whether it's going to be your human design, and being able to master the self. um and that's essentially where I kind of like, where I want to be drawn to, and where I want to fall into. um and it's kind of interesting because like, even with myself, like the way that I am, and my singing, my dancing, I really don't sing too much. I really don't dance too much, because I'm afraid of like the human hunting, you know what I mean? Like, I'm afraid, I'm like, okay, so what lens is this one going through? Who's he communicating with? Like, what projectors, what slave masters am I gonna have to go through in order for them to fucking pull me around, drive me fucking insane, make me look crazy, and enslave me all over again? Like, it's bad. Um, and so I have to tell myself I'm okay, I'm safe, and I'm fine. And it's hard. It's hard to be able to do that, especially when you've been held so many times. When you know you when when you have this projection of reality, which is so false. When you have like, the thing that you're supposed to be more afraid of is a gun. And I'm like, I'm not like a gun, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I am a kind of afraid of a gun, but I'm more afraid of your vessel. I like, if you're taught your whole life, your chakras, if you're taught your whole life, your mind's eye, how to push out the mind's projecting, generating energy. If you learned all these things, I to be honest with you, I'm more afraid of you. If you could remote view, tell it to the minds, get into my loved ones' minds, push everyone away from me, make me look crazy, make me look insane, where I have nowhere else to turn to. I have nowhere to go. That I can't run to nobody, because now I'm fearful of all Americans. And that's a problem. And it's essentially, people from other countries that are here, and it's kind of sad when other people from other countries are looking with merciful eyes, being like, yeah, some of them Americans, they're messed up. And it's really because the fellow Americans that are doing it to us. And I think that's the part where it's, you're trying to be, either a worldly person, or just not even just a worldly person, just a person for that of people within that of your own community or your own country, and being like, I love you and I never want you harmed or hurt. But it's a different ballpark when they're the ones hurting you, when they're the ones pushing your family away, when they're the ones that are causing the mental disorder onto that of your family. um so it's a challenge. And so far, my American experience has been difficult. But I'm trying to go with the grace of God and be like, it's okay, it's okay. And it's like, don't be too black, don't be too Latino, don't be too nothing. And then I try to be nothing at all. I try to be nothing at all, because I'm like, don't rewire me. Don't force this psychosis where I'm moving this and I'm like, uh-oh, because now in my own head, my own limitations is the ones that's being pressed onto my being, but also through that of visualizations and that of forms of consciousness that are able to will onto that of my sight and hold different forms of delusions, creating the delusions within that of my being. So it's difficult. It's hard. I love you.